Electric Fire, Chapter 19, The Realization.
Days had passed. Gun hadn't shown up, definitely planning something. Sonic helped me mark off a few more things off my bucket list. I crossed out the stuff that involved Gun. I kinda put that stuff in just to give them a good reason to come after me. But I decided not to do that stuff. Sonic, on the other hand, had gotten a bit better at controlling his powers. He still has trouble when he gets emotional though. Even if I did leave, Gun would most likely capture Sonic. Sure, with Gun not being seen for a few days was nerve-wracking, but that's not something that would keep someone up at night. Their main problem was that I exist. I still had nightmares, but I didn't bother to go to Tom or Maddie. That was a one-time thing only. The nightmares I had didn't include Sonic though. Sonic would probably hate me if I left to try and find sanctuary elsewhere. The dreams, though, gave me more of an awakening than anything. I can't leave Sonic, and Sonic only has 2 rings left, so we both can't go somewhere else to stay low for a while. We were in one nightmare of a pickle. It was my fault. I didn't mean to fall into Sonic's room and lead some drums to him. Sonic went to Carl's place a lot in the last few days. I stayed behind at Tom and Maddie's, keeping watch on things and giving Ozzy company. He didn't exactly do much, mostly nap though. He'd sometimes played fetch with me. He had a tennis ball he'd grab from under Tom's bed if he felt like playing. Sonic's tales were starting to get closer as time went on. Carl seemed to enjoy Omega and Rouge's company. Sonic would tell me the stories they'd share. But all good things come to an end, right? It wasn't long before Gun hatched up a plan to capture me and Sonic. They set up a bunch of traps, kind of like how Carl used bear traps and some rope traps. But Gun weren't like that. They made more high-tech traps like pivot traps, wire traps, and a few others. Tom and Maddie were home at the time when we got caught. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Me and Sonic left the house to go visit Carl again. Sonic also wanted to see Tails. I mainly wanted to see Rouge and Omega. I haven't seen them in some time. We took to a different path though instead of going through the woods. That was a huge mistake. I had a bad feeling as we got closer. I didn't say anything though. I didn't want to worry Sonic, but then he tripped. He was a couple feet in front of me. He fell pretty hard. Well, we were running at the same time, but not at top speed. I walked over to him before offering my hand to help him up. He looked up at me before taking my hand.
Thanks. I don't know what tripped me.
I looked back to see what had tripped him. There weren't any tree roots. I let him go to wipe off the dirt. Luckily, he only got scraped knees. Nothing sprained or broken. I investigated where he had gone tripped. Well, I did find a hidden wire a few feet above the ground, held up by some stakes. We should go through the woods. I don't feel safe taking this way. Someone set that up. I looked back at Sonic.
We're almost to Carl's. He probably forgot to pick that trap up from before. I mean, I haven't used this way since the whole Robotnik thing. This way is quicker than the woods. Not many trees out here too.
I sighed and we continued onward. We didn't know a drone was following us at the time. The fall might have triggered it out of hiding. It followed without a sound. Within a couple feet, the ground beneath us caved in. We both fell into a large steel box. I guess the walls were slick with metallic coating. We couldn't jump out or climb out. We were stuck. I couldn't teleport out either. Something wasn't allowing me to use my powers. Sonic tried to jump out without success. We saw the drone above us, hovering overhead out of reach. We couldn't do anything. Sonic then got an idea to climb up on my shoulders in order to get out. I let him, even though he hadn't told me what he was thinking. He got out, then he tried to help me out of the trap. He leaned over the edge and extended his hand toward me, but gun agents were already in the area. They had surrounded Sonic and I saw one behind Sonic starting to approach him, cautiously. I took Sonic's hand and pulled him back into the trap before the agent could grab him. He let out a yell when I pulled him back. The agent mumbled something under his breath as I caught Sonic. I broke his fall. Either way, we were still going with Gun. I didn't want to start anything with them, not with Sonic there. They'd probably shoot him if I tried anything. Sadly, this wasn't one of my dreams. This was real. One of the agents leaned over trying to take Sonic away from me. I probably did the worst thing possible. I had to. Sonic go behind me. Next thing I knew, I bit the agent on the hand. But another agent grabbed Sonic. The agent pulled back their arm from the pain I caused. Sure, I didn't actually mean to bite them. I just wanted to protect my friend. But again, some protector I turned out to be. I was then shot by another soldier, not a bullet, but still hurt. Sonic was surrounded by soldiers. I couldn't see him. He wasn't able to see me. As I started to feel nauseous as soon as I fell on the hard steel below me, I was out. Isolation would have been a blessing compared to the things I had to endure after arriving at Gun. Sadly, Sonic was put through the same thing. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. I wish I could forget everything that occurred there, but not all stories can have a happy ending all the time, right? Even fairy tales can be dark.